At the same point in time, she's now found herself in a spot where she can't retreat back any farther. There's a wall there. The individual has their arm up so that she can't go to her left. We have two gifts down in the description for you. One is the free and downloadable targets. Download them, print them out, use them, and save yourself some time and money when you go to the range. Additionally, we have that free online marksmanship course. It's going to walk you through all the basics and then some advanced techniques for marksmanship training and basic pistol work. So download that. Those are our gifts to you. Let's get started. Take a quick look at this. So as we're doing this, I want you to take a look at a couple things. One, I want you to take a look at this bus right here. It's going to play a major factor in the outcome here. And I also want you to take a look at these situations. What we have going on right now is we have a gentleman in close proximity to a female right here. And what's going on is this female is looking at something in her purse or sticking something in her purse. It's kind of distracting her, and it's not letting her be aware of her surroundings right now. Now, by no means is this woman's fault. But the big thing is you want to be around, you want to be situationally aware of what's going on around you at all times, especially in public, especially depending on where you're at. Some people will call this intuition when you get that bad feeling, the hair standing up on the back of your neck when you're in a situation you don't think you should be in. But let's play a little bit forward, see what exactly goes on with this. So obviously, this woman was startled. This man came up, placed his hands on her immediately. There may be something in his hands. It's hard to tell here in the video, but for the most part, there's something going on where this individual has abruptly made contact with her. It startled her. She dropped her purse, which will play a factor here later on when we kind of go a little bit further. But take a look at this. She's startled. She's defensive. Her arms are closed in. Something is going on here that's just not right. Whether she knows this individual or not, it doesn't really matter, because at some point she feels scared enough to react the way she did. Let's play another couple seconds, see what goes on here. Okay, so now her back's to the wall. She felt that she was trying to retreat, but then hit a barrier, right? So she's trying to retreat, hit a barrier. Now that works out for her in one aspect. However, still just keeping this in mind that it is everything you see here. She's closed, her feet are close together, her arms are close together. You can see everything in her posture is telling her that, hey, I don't like this situation. It's very defensive. People tend to close themselves in to get defensive. That's why you always see individuals do that. Big thing here is whether this would be preventable or not if she was aware and looking around. At the same point in time, she's now found herself in a spot where she can't retreat back any farther. There's a wall there. The individual has their arm up so that she can't go to her left. So the only way she can go is forward, which that individual has the best reaction there to attempt to prevent her from doing this. So go a little bit farther. Look, wait, she makes a comment, right? Or something happens where she says, "Oh, I need to get my purse." This individual, now here we see some reluctancy, or whether or not he's just trying to play off this scenario. And what we have here is possibly a kidnapping. We don't know if these two individuals know each other or not. This might be a kidnapping for any number of reasons. It could be for an assault. It could be a kidnapping for any type of for future solicitation, maybe sex trafficking, anything along those lines, right? Those are all the outcomes. There's a lot of outcomes that could potentially happen from this. But the female says, "Hey, I left my bag," or something happens that makes her stop and turn around to get her bag. And the individual allows this to happen right there. There's no longer contact between her and the individual, right? There's a bus right there. She could, I don't want to say easily run, because that's not the case, but she could attempt to make a fleeing event. And understand there's a lot of adrenaline going on. She's scared here, but with proper training, you can mitigate those emotions to enough to where you can still cognitively function. And where we're at with this is she has the potential right now. This individual's feet are crossed right here. So pursuing her is going to be very difficult if she decides to make a dash this way, right? She's in a good position. She's already reaching down, getting her bag, and she can get out of here, get out of this situation, run to the bus, run away, try to flee in some avenue and try to get to help. Now, I'm not saying that that is exactly what she should do, but that is an option here. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this purse. While this purse worked as a distraction to turn around and break contact right here, there's this old Shark Tank test that I heard, and it came to me recently, and it comes down to, hey, when it comes to using, self-defense or lethal force or anything along those lines, what are you willing to do? And it's mostly for firearms training, but would you be willing to, jump into a Shark Tank to get a watch? Probably not, right? Or to get your wallet or to get your purse. No, probably not. So at that point in time, would you be willing? And it's mostly for self-defense, right? For in using a firearm or using deadly force for self-defense. But here, the same application could be applied is, would you be willing to risk your own life to get your purse? And the answer to that should be no. Here it worked really well where she used it as a distraction, but she broke that contact. But then she didn't take advantage of it here. And this individual takes some steps, pins her away, and you could see she tried to make an attempt to get away, except she wasn't committed to it, right? She took a couple steps, tried to create distance, still, but then she started facing her attacker again and started facing her aggressor. And then the individual was able to place his arm on her again and gain control. Now he's kind of pulling her along and dragging her. And once again, it looks like something might be clutched in his hand, but it's hard to tell. We're going around, but the bus stopped, right? We saw that bus stop right there and try to see what was going on, but then they kept walking. So here we are again. The bus pulls up right here, and here's where it really, really works out. So you can't tell if these two individuals know each other. She definitely looks reserved. Her arm's not swinging at all. And someone calls, and you can't tell what they're saying. Maybe they're saying, do you need help? But then she's trying to go, but he keeps pulling her along, right? And now some bystanders come off the bus. One gentleman starts yelling at him. A female comes off and starts pulling her away. This is great. The bus driver comes off, deters the individual. The individual starts swinging around what looks like some keys or something along those lines. Now all these people in a group are able to deter this issue, and the gentleman just walks away, which leads me to believe maybe he didn't know her, because if he did know her, he would try to make a more aggressive approach to walk with her. So this 100%, in my opinion, was probably a kidnapping. Who knows the reason for it? It could have been sex trafficking. It could have been robbery. It could have been a multitude of things. But ultimately, it was done very well, to the point where I support the individuals that have prevented this from taking place. It's amazing that they were able to. It was amazing that they were able to stop this from taking place, and that really, really probably changed that woman's life for the better. There's no doubt in my mind. Listen, those gifts are down in the description. I hope you use them. Definitely keep them and download and print out those targets, and then keep downloading and printing out those targets. Save yourself time and money. And then same thing with that pistol and marksmanship online course. Take it. It's our gift to you. Both of them. Enjoy. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.